You're watching a live broadcast from Astana on Silkway TV channel. I'm Aynura Mangali, and today I'm joined by Ерсултан Жанситов, senior expert of Institute of World Economy and Politics. We are commentating on the arrival ceremony of President of Tajikistan, Emomali Rahmon, who is paying official visit to Kazakhstan. Tomorrow, presidents of two countries, Kazakhstan and Tajikistan, will hold a series of bilateral meetings. Today, prior to official visit of President of Tajikistan, Kazakh-Tajik Business Forum was held in Astana, where the businessmen from two countries plan to sign contracts worth $2 billion. Yersultan, what is the core of economic and political relations of Kazakhstan and Tajikistan today?
Good afternoon. First of all, we should say that Tajikistan and Kazakhstan are strategic partners since the year of 2015. The agreement on strategic partnership was signed. As well, we are members of several international organizations like United Nations, CIS,
yes.
SCO, and several others. So our bilateral relationships are being developing since 1991, and actually this year is the 30 years anniversary of bilateral relations. So it's a very meaningful date for both states and both leaders.
Yes, but how is going on so far?
Actually, our international economic relationships are expanding. In the last year, in 2022, bilateral trade has increased by 22%, by 18%. And there are brave forecasts that this process will be continuing. And,
yes.
Our trade has already reached 1.4 billion. So the goal of reaching 1 billion has been exceeded by much more.
Now the goal is to achieve $2 billion in trade. So what does it mean in your point of view, and how this economic relations will develop in the future?
In my point of view, it means that the process of Central Asian integration is actually working, and we can see big differences than it was before. The cooperation is expanding, not only with Tajikistan, but among all the countries, all the Central Asian countries. So it's a good progress for everyone, for Tajikistan, for Kazakhstan, and there are big opportunities for expanding the trade products. So we're not for example, in pharmaceutical products. So we'll be trading not only commodities, but also more complex products.
And it also was said that Kazakhstan and Tajikistan agreed on building wholesale distribution centers. Yes, in Kazakhstan to boost the supply of fruits and vegetables from Tajikistan to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and it means that the main part of the Tajikistan export to Kazakhstan is about agriculture. But that's true also about Kazakhstan as well. Around 30% of our export to Tajikistan is grain. And other parts are also like milk, butter, meat. So agriculture is, for now, is a huge part of our bilateral trade.
And it also means that the engagement in small and medium-sized enterprises will grow in coming months and years.
Sure, and it will be providing more workplaces, and it will be helping to develop the overall life quality and the income of the population in both countries.
What about political cooperation? What can be said about this?
In political cooperation, we've already mentioned the level of bilateral agreements.
We are members of several organizations.
If we are talking about like practical cooperation, the question of Afghanistan will be on the table. I'm pretty sure about that, because it's a serious issue for Tajikistan. And as we know, the current people in charge in Afghanistan are in a complicated relationship with the Tajik authorities.
We're talking about Taliban.
Yeah, and Kazakhstan might be a third party as well in helping to solve the current conflicts.
Like be a role of negotiator.
Yes, as usual. Kazakhstan is always playing that role.
Right.
So the political cooperation with Kazakhstan is actually beneficial for Tajikistan. So as we know, the political landscape in Eurasia is changing after what happened in Ukraine. So every country, especially in Central Asian region, they're rebalancing their foreign policy.
You already mentioned the integration in Central Asia. What do you think will be the role of Tajikistan in this integration process in Kazakhstan as well?
Well, there is no Central Asian integration without both of these countries, so for sure they will be playing crucial roles. And Tajikistan is also important for Kazakhstan, not only in the matter of security, as we've already talked about Afghanistan, but also in the matters of energy. Tajikistan is supplying energy to Kazakhstan, especially during the summertime, and also about the water resources. Like one of the biggest rivers that go to Kazakhstan, like Sirdarya, part of that water is coming from Tajikistan.
Yes, water issues, energy issues.
We cannot survive without each other. So we can say that we are doomed to be together in Central Asia, and hopefully our cooperation will be developing in the future.
I think all the leaders and the representatives of political establishment of two countries understand it, and yes, and will work closely on this. Today, Minister of Trade and Integration Sergey Jumangarin said that Tajikistan is a large market for the sale of Kazakh-produced goods. So, is it in reality a very large and
we can see all the evidences, market? And the interesting thing is that we are selling automobiles now to Tajikistan, like Jag, Peugeot, and several types of automobiles that have been constructed here in Kazakhstan are now being exported to Tajikistan.
That's a very interesting move, by the way. Yes, and as we can see now, the plane with the high-ranked delegation from Tajikistan and the President of Tajikistan, Emomali Rahmon, has just arrived at International Airport in Astana. And the official welcoming ceremony will start very soon. I remind you, tomorrow presidents of two countries, Kazakhstan and Tajikistan, will hold a series of bilateral meetings. Today, prior to official visit of President of Tajikistan, the Kazakh-Tajik Business Forum was held in Astana. Kazakh and Tajik businessmen have very ambitious goals and plans to develop cooperation in trade and to sign contracts worth $2 billion. Tajikistan offers great opportunities with minimum risks for the small and medium businesses of Kazakhstan, said Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Trade and Integration Sergey Jumangarin. In his words, 418 Kazakh-Tajik joint enterprises are working in Kazakhstan today. 416 of them are small businesses. And as we discussed just now with Yersultan Jansietov, Tajikistan is a large market for the sale of Kazakh-produced goods, namely agrarian products such as wheat, barley, and sunflower oil. As Minister of Trade and Integration of Kazakhstan noted that thanks to the support of domestic producers, the export of sunflower oil to Tajikistan rose by more than $20 million. So, what do you think, Yersultan, will be on agenda of discussion this time?
Well, it's quite obvious that the topic will be about business, trade, economics. As you've already mentioned, the business forum is being held here in Astana. Today is the first day, and the agreements on 1.4 billion have been already signed. It's a really impressive achievement, especially taking note that previously both countries didn't have that kind of record of business activities. So it's been forecasted that by tomorrow the amount of deals will be reaching 2 billion.
Yes,
it's a huge step.
That's very enormous numbers.
Yeah, especially for our countries.
For regional cooperation, for bilateral cooperation. also. So do you think Tajikistan now becomes a strategic economic partner of Kazakhstan in the region?
At least Tajikistan is on the right way toward that. Well, it benefits both countries. If we are looking at the numbers, we don't have any kind of domination from each side. Tajikistan is also expanding its numbers of export to Kazakhstan, so do we. So we still have a lot of room for growth in that terms on trade, economics, and we still have different areas to work. Especially I would mention that Tajikistan is interested in foreign investments to the country, and Kazakhstan has the opportunities to go into the Tajikistan market. And
so to be as an investor, in
yeah.
the economy of Tajikistan.
And Tajikistan has such fields like water energy, and if invested properly, that could also provide huge opportunities for Kazakhstan as well in ensuring the energy import from Tajikistan for the future.
And do you think by this, strengthening economic partnership, strategic partnership with Kazakhstan as a major player of this region, as we say, the biggest economy of Central Asian region, Tajikistan is going to have its own role, its own path through this integrational process?
Surely, the format of the Central Asian integration is not about dominating by any other countries. As we've already said, no country can go further without another. So even if Kazakhstan's economy is much larger than Tajikistan, we still depend on our Tajik partners in other issues like energy, water. As we've already said, the matter of water will be crucial in the future. So we all need each other. And our format of integration is not about one country being dominant over others. We're going into integration on the same strategic levels and importance with mutual respect. So everyone has their own positions and their own viewpoint.
But for these 30 years of established diplomatic relations, do you think our bilateral relations was successful, was good and progressive in its nature?
It was, and as we've already said, the signing of the agreement on strategic partnership in 2015 was a clear sign of that. So
September 14, yes, and the strategic partnership was signed.
And Tajikistan is our crucial partner in many issues. Like we already said, security, number one. Like the matter of Afghanistan is very important for Kazakhstan and the whole Central Asia.
Yes, and right now we can see the official welcoming ceremony is proceeding. We can see the presidents of two countries, the president of Tajikistan, Emomali Rahmon, being greeted by the high-ranked politicians and delegation of Kazakhstan. He's welcomed by the president of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. Now the two presidents are heading towards the entrance. I will remind you that tomorrow presidents of two countries will hold a series of bilateral meetings, and this is the official visit of President of Tajikistan to Kazakhstan. Yes, as we now can see, the official welcoming ceremony just being proceeded, and it is very crucial and important moment for two countries to, to again discuss the perspectives of bilateral relations. So, what is important to know right now? We are partners in economy, in politics, in trade. What else? So the status quo is just this.
Actually, we've pretty much covered all the topics. And the interesting thing is that in May there will be a summit, C5+1 in China. So now is another chance. To talk about that, to talk about the common positions of the Central Asian countries. So it's another opportunity.
It's another opportunity to discuss, to cooperate.
And come to the same grounds in our negotiation positions.
Thank you very much, Sultan, for being here with us and answering our questions. I will remind you that I was joined by Sultan Janseedov, senior expert of Institute of World Economy and Politics. We was broadcasting live from Astana, and we were commentating on the arrival ceremony of President of Tajikistan, Emomali Rahmon, to Kazakhstan. So stay tuned and watch our news on Silkway TV channel. See you later.